Good morning to you all again. Let's now hear Roeland Pype from the Art Velde University School from Ghent in Belgium. He is talking about effective on-screen communication. We are really glad to have the opportunity to hear you. I believe you have like an hour and something for your lecture, and then we'll have like 15 minutes or so for debating, comments and questions. Thank you very much again for being here.
Yes. So what you have to be aware of is that a screen is another medium than paper. So screens have limitations when it comes to reading texts on it. And to accommodate that, to facilitate reading on the screen, you better shorten texts, so make them concise, summarize texts, and leave the full text for other media. Like printed or for larger screens. And another technique here that helps is to make text scannable. So because screens are smaller than a newspaper page or a magazine page or spread, and so there is less overview, and to facilitate reading there, you can make the text more scannable by adding keywords or highlighting keywords. And so a reader can easily locate what a paragraph is about, or where a certain kind of information is in the text and whether it's interesting or not, so he can swipe and or scroll to another part of the text. I think they will they will coexist. There is still a market for printed media, but it's smaller than it was. But there are still people who want to read longer articles with large photographs and have the feeling of paper and flicking through pages and take the time to read a magazine in the weekend, for instance. So there is still a market for printed media, but it's different than it was before. And for news, consumption really of news and what happened today or yesterday, maybe digital media are going to be more important, and already are more important because they're fast, so they update information much faster than a newspaper can, because you have to wait till tomorrow to read what happened today. So, and I guess both media will coexist. There is a place for both of them. Well, it's what I talked about was responsive content. So what is now hot is responsive design. So that the content of a web page, for instance, adjusts itself depending on the screen size. So and the next level is that not only the design responds to the context, but also the contents. And an example here is that when you open an article on a small screen, like a smartphone, the system presents not the full text of the article. It doesn't fit on that small screen anyway. And maybe it's not really interesting to read the full text on such a small screen. So instead it will present you a summary of the text in a very presented in a very communicative way. So you can just read the keywords, the highlights of the article and say, oh, that's interesting. And then you can just tap a button and the system will remind you later, when you log in on your computer, for instance, that, hey, there's still an article waiting for you to read. So, and then, oh yeah, now I have time, now I have a large screen, and here, this is the moment to read the full article.